Hello, I am Ray.
Whoa, wait, where's your intro?
This is Taylor, yes.
What do you mean, you getting lazy on us?
No, not lazy, I don't know, I don't have any ideas.
It's something you edit and post, not even on the fly. Just think of something.
What do you think I am, some kind of oracle that sits up on a mountain in the nude thinking up ideas? I don't have any wisdom currently.
Sort of, that is exactly what this is. That's entertainment, that's writing, Ray.
No.
Yes?
No, because have you been keeping up with YouTube lately? It's not about that anymore, it's all about like drama and stuff, and gossip. Taylor, have you been sleeping with anybody?
I'm not talking about that in public.
Peyton, have you been sleeping with anybody?
My girlfriend, yes.
Well, see, Peyton's been sleeping with their girlfriend. Wow. Scandal.
Ray, if you decide we're gonna start doing gossip and social media drama, I'm done with this. I'm walking out.
No, it's how we get back. Look, I'm not doing the intro, okay?
Okay, that's fine. If you're okay with being lazy.
No, I'm not being lazy. Like, seriously, do you know how crippling it is to sit in front of this video with no ideas and just say like, I can't get started on this project till I have an idea for the intro.
I mean, it's okay, whatever you've got to say to make yourself feel less lazy.
It's not late, we're gonna get something done because I'm skipping it.
No, I know. You're gonna get something done because you're being lazy.
That is the exact opposite of lazy, oh my god.
You are lazy, Ray, for shame, yes.
Wait, you guys don't know anything.
So we skip this for the pain of our viewers, yes. But in that last battle, you could not see up the ledge and the camera made it impossible to do anything, yes.
Ray had to go in the spectral realm like twice. This camera is great for setting up those pretty shots, terrible for gameplay.
This game is so fantastic though, with some of its pretty little art pieces and things. It would be a shame if you didn't actually see them all.
It does give it an awful lot of feel.
Okay, what is this effect, yes? I am saying smoke bomb, but also leaves.
Maybe like a smoke bomb packed with leaves?
Well, some earlier times we saw them all hiding in a pile of leaves, so it's probably just a mix of the two effects.
No, they're hiding in leaves all the time, so maybe like leaves get into their backpacks and everything?
I like them throwing their bombs and fireballs and hitting their friends, yes.
Like they gotta be out there in those leaves for days. They're just like, oh yeah, vampires are coming through here eventually.
Oh really? When? Yes.
I don't know, like hours, couple of days. Just stay in the leaves.
These guys must not like each other, because their friends' eyes turn all green and just right away, bombs and fireballs. Not like, oh, Sally, are you doing okay? Speak to me, Sally. Just, yeah, she's green, kill her.
How often do you suppose this happens? Like, they just see their friend flip sides so frequently they don't even think about it anymore. Just like, yeah, never liked him anyway.
You know, though, I gotta say, these Hilden taking over the bodies of your enemies? Not really adding much, is it? I mean, they're just putting themselves in harm's way for, what?
Well, Raziel's free from the time stream, so fate doesn't say that they can't beat you.
They know Raziel is unkillable, though, yes.
Yeah, he's unkillable, but not unslowable.
I don't know, you seem pretty unslowable. I mean, you're being slowed down by a few minutes, but a few minutes in the grand scheme is probably not many.
Also, they're taking over the body of someone who was already fighting you, yes. So they're not even slowing you down any extra, yes.
I don't know, they're wily and inscrutable. Now that I had reached this kinda high up ledge so that I wouldn't have to climb around very much, I could make my way to Vorador's mansion. Last time I spoke to Vorador, he didn't seem to like me very much. But if I tracked enough mud in his mansion, maybe he would come and yell at me. And then I could ask him why the Reaver was trying to absorb my soul when I was so obviously the chosen champion of destiny.
Oh, it is Kain's turn to play. Move over, Ray. Yes. And so Kain found himself in one of the old vampire citadels. And so finely furbished, too. Yes. Mobius seemed to believe that Kain would be very disappointed in what he found of Raziel here.
But Kain didn't know what Mobius was talking about.
Kain only cared to find out about Kain's destiny. Yes.
Oh no, look out, there's Darkmans here!
Kain does not fear the Darkmans, yes!
Really? Shouldn't he though? I mean, like, the Reaver is a physical weapon, isn't it?
No, it is enchanted, so it does the full damage to undeads.
I don't know, they keep changing the rules on Undead every edition, I think?
You know, if you guys are talking about D&D, I just want to let you know how esoteric that is. Like, other D&D players can appreciate this kind of nerding out, but I cannot.
Oh, well, let me explain the rules then, yes. You see, there are some kinds of creatures that are intangible.
No, I don't need an explanation. I just want to let you know that it's boring. It's boring, it's mechanical garbage.
Oh, it's not mechanical.
No, it's mechanical. You guys are talking about rules and role-playing and, like, Stat modifiers? Come on.
Well, if you would learn to play, you would get the references.
I might, but then the rest of the audience wouldn't.
It's okay to be exclusionary sometime, you know.
Yeah, Taylor. We exclude the nerds who don't play D&D, yes.
I've heard that's a thing lately. What with all the comic book movies that have come out, like being a nerd is cool now.
Well, having imagination and being creative is cool.
Yeah, and so is following the rules and drinking your milk, Ray.
No, because what is poetry or, like, hitting on a girl aside from being creative?
Depends on how you hit the girl, yes.
With a big rock.
I don't know, I think video games maybe help contribute to that, though. Because people could look at this and now you'd have visual context for what all that was supposed to be. People are like, is this what D&D was supposed to be about? You'd be like, yeah, that was kind of the idea.
Gay vampires cutting up shirtless porcupine people. Yeah, that was D&D in a nutshell.
Come on, I've been telling you this from square one.
How come no one is wearing a shirt? It is the dead of winter, there is snow on the ground, and they're living in a stone castle.
Kain does not need shirts, yes. He has evolved beyond them.
Okay, yes, Kain. But what about these people?
I'm not sure if they're actually human. They sound human, but they don't act human.
They look human. I mean, they're wearing giant stupid hats, but humans in stupid hats are still humans.
Maybe the hat makes them warm, yes. It is an enchanted hat.
Yeah, that's why they all wear them.
Oh, see, I thought it must have been a cultural thing. Like, one day somebody popular put on one of these stupid hats, and everyone else was like, oh yeah, if he can pull that look off, I can too. And soon everybody was wearing them, because that's just what people do.
What? No, that's dumb. Society wouldn't develop based on dumb social rituals. Of course there's a practical reason for this.
How long do you think the porcupine hats have been a thing?
Or do you think these people have only been doing this since last Wednesday?
No, there's obviously a huge market in this society for these porcupine hats. Everybody has one. It's gotta be a thing that's been around at least one generation.
You guys are saying porcupine, yes. But I am not seeing porcupine. I am seeing more like sea urchin.
Maybe it's a spiritual thing. You go off into the wilderness to become a man and they say, what'd you see? What was your animal? And you're like, a porcupine. Just like everybody else, I saw a porcupine. And then they're like, man, porcupine, very popular. All right, get your porcupine hat.
Somewhere there's a guy with an alligator hat and his family doesn't like to talk about him.
Black sheep of the tribe saw an alligator. Weird.
I hear he lies in wait for you to trust him, and then he leaps up out of the water and pulls you under and drowns you, yes.
Yeah, alligator's not trustworthy like a porcupine. Porcupine is pretty much just minding its own business till you mess with him.
Yeah, good, honest animal, porcupine. I bet there are a lot of positive legends.
Yeah, the story of the porcupine versus the hare, the three little porcupines. Great stories. Tell the kids.
Here Kain found the evidence that he supposed Mobius wanted him to see. There were two murals, the first ruined by time. The second depicted two warriors. One, Kain assumed was the good guy because he was vampires like Kain. The second was the asshole because he was stabbing the vampires, yes. Presumably this was the disappointment that Mobius described. But Kain didn't care, Kain was just going to stab history until it did what he wanted, yes. The timeline was stupid and wrong, yes. And Kain was great. This door was locked, and Kain required keys to open doors, yes.
One big drawback of having all this backtracking going on is you've always got to tell the players, like, yeah, this door is locked on purpose. You will eventually be able to go through it, but not right now. Don't give up.
Oh, Kain sees you sea urchin people, yes. Okay, just get in Kain's telekinetic grasp. Oh, what? But Kain sees him right there, yes. They're not even camouflaged, they are sea urchins.
You got tricked. You got tricked by the ambush.
No, I did not get tricked, yes. It was completely obvious what was going to happen.
Does Kain just have really bad eyesight? Because the only excuse I can think of for that is if you assume the character didn't see the ambush coming.
No, I know, the camera focused, like, right on them. There's not, like, any bushes or anything that look like these guys.
They're going to do that again, aren't they? Kain is going to be fooled over and over by the wily traps of these idiotic people.
Maybe Kain just doesn't care.
But if he wanted to kill them, he would do it. He would just walk up and stab them in their stupid porcupine hat. Yes.
Maybe Kain didn't want to kill him. He was just gonna, like, walk on by, but they're like, quick, shut the gates. Close him in here with us.
I just love how this series consistently does that. They have people locking themselves into rooms with dangerous vampires, and then when the vampire wins the fight, they let him go. It has been demonstrated so many times that they could probably trap Kain in that cage for as long as they needed to.
Kain need keys to open door, yes.
Speaking of being trapped by gates, I gotta love how Kain could probably squeeze through that gate if he really wanted to, not even while changing form. But he'll only turn into mist for vertical bars. Horizontal bars, though. God, that is a lot of trouble.
Kain will not climb through a gate like a peasant, yes?
Oh, you got tricked by another porcupine ambush. Also, maybe there's a force field on that gate.
You mean like between the bars? I've seen pigeons try to fly through glass windows. Imagine if invisible force fields were a thing.
Poor pigeons, just fly top speed through the gates. Blah.
I really prefer to believe that Kain is just being lazy, and that his laziness is causing him to do a lot more work. Like he just says to himself, I don't really want to turn into mist, I'll just go and find the key. It's gotta be around here somewhere.
Speaking of pigeons, and I know you don't actually eat pigeons, but what are these people eating? What are pigeons eating? I mean, this is a chain of thoughts that has led to this.
Snow, obviously, and rocks, maybe old vampire books.
I don't know if you noticed the leather thongs on the ladies, yes, but they clearly have access to leather, so they must have access to the pigs or whatever.
Where are the pigs? What are they making their clothes out? What do you make your clothes out of when you live in an old vampire ruin?
What are those claws made of? I have so many questions now that I think about this.
They got the porcupine tattoo on their butts, and their whole fighting style is just mimicking Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I don't know, do you think like a concept artist came to the directors and was like, hey, check this out? And they were all like, oh yeah, that's cool. We're gonna put that in the game.
To be fair, that is a pure and simple reason to do something in a video game, and these guys are actually pretty colorful and interesting looking.
Yeah, no, I remember these guys pretty clearly from this game. Like, of all the things that stood out in my head, these weird guys are one of the biggest.
This is where that sort of Pulp Fiction thing comes in, where it's sort of like everything is a comic book.
Yeah, there's no logic. It's just kind of visually appealing, and the claws are neat, and everything's neat.
Also, don't forget the leather thongs, yes.
Well, yeah, you put an artist in a room and tell him he can draw whatever he wants, and sooner or later you're gonna get thongs.
I think we had this discussion last time.
No, that was about boobs, yes. This is about the thong.
Yeah, totally different class. A thong goes on your butt? Or not, actually?
Yes, it's totally different. Different line of thinking, yes.
Okay, actually, if we're gonna be on this, Kain's pants are so tight. You don't suppose he wears a G-string, does he? Because otherwise, you would see the underwear through those pants.
Maybe he's going commando, yes.
Well, he never changes the pants, so I'm sure the underwear doesn't do a lot of good if he's wearing it.
Well, you know, it's hard to say. Some cultures did not really do the underwear thing. Like, I think Japan, and I think that was a really big deal when Westerners showed up and they did wear underwear.
Yeah, it was a unique thing for them. Japanese hookers bought it, and so in Japan, underwear became associated with hookers.
So what are you saying, yes? That Kain should wear underwear like some kind of dirty hooker?
Oh no, we wouldn't want to assume that the vampire lord, who's covered in blood and ichor, is somehow dirty.
Okay, you know, here's another thing I don't get. How come vampires don't get sick? Is this a magical thing? Because, like, diseases should still be able to infect their human cells.
Well, maybe vampire cells don't replicate.
Well, then when Kain gets cut open, he should never heal.
No, that's where the magic comes in. Sucking the blood causes all of his wounds to magically heal. He drains the life from other creatures, and only the healthy life.
Okay, fine, I guess that makes some internal sense.
No, it doesn't. Because the entire premise is that the vampires were cursed with immortal life, yes.
Oh, yeah, so if they just stopped drinking blood, then they would just die.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's what happens to Kain, I think.
But Kain never runs out of blood because he's so good, yes.
I don't know. The rules are kind of vague. Maybe intentionally vague. I'm not sure if the curse is what gives Kain all of his good powers, or if he would just naturally have that from being a vampire.
The Hilden would have to be amazingly stupid to curse their enemies with superpowers.
Didn't we see, yes, that normal vampires were not even able to stand up to soldiers?
Oh yeah, that's right. Only Kain's lineage of vampires had all these powers, which I think stem from the pillars.
Yes, so vampires normally are garbage.
What about Vorador?
He is green, yes.
Okay, so
he is powered by the chlorophylls, yes? Solar powered?
Okay, so Vorador's powers come from the sun.
Yes, very tragic for vampire.
And over time, he became that green so he could absorb the most power from the ambient light of the moon, or whatever.
Yeah, and the stars.
Do you think the stars make the vampires feel bad, yes?
You mean like, are the stars like sunlight? Like just lots and lots of tiny little suns?
Yes.
You know, that's a question that kind of goes past vampire lore, doesn't it?
See, this is why people don't come up with cool things anymore, because everyone's too well educated. You come up with some neat idea like, oh yeah, vampires, they're hurt by the sun. And then some smartass says, but But what about the stars?
Way to go, smartass, yes.
Well, then you reply, the stars are too far away. The light's not strong enough, it only gives vampires a runny nose.
Oh, yeah. And then you go on, you're like, and that's why they all like to be indoors? Because even when they're outside, they still get sniffly?
And that is how you establish fictional lore.
With half-assed explanations?
Yes, and try not to get them mixed up or confused, because then everyone thinks you're being an idiot.
Consistency can be hard. But anyway, here looks like a good place to stop for now. Thanks for playing with us, everybody.